Speaking of things that Sarah Snook is in, would you like to hear about what I finished?
Oh, yeah, hit me.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I have finished season 1 of Succession.
Oh. Now, this is a show that I knew that you would like.
Yes. And you
That's
were
my
right.
contribution.
Where are you up to in this show? You're further ahead than me.
I'm like season 3 or 4,
Yeah.
and I forgot I was watching it.
Did you now?
Maybe after Commandos, I'll get back into it.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, I'm long late to the bandwagon. All of the people who influence.
It's not even a bandwagon anymore.
No,
it is
it's stopped. It's fallen off the cliff of it. The show is finished.
Yeah, actually, I think we've jumped a couple of generations since then. We have like ultra luxury rail cars and private planes now.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute. Everyone's flying around in guzzling fuel aircraft machines.
Very good.
Or at least the people in Succession are.
Fine car. Well, they are, but they're doing it already now. They're just 20 years ahead because of their money.
All their money.
This is a show that was like vaguely on my radar for ages because all the people who influence my opinions online, not influencers, just people who are online and influence my opinions, have been watching the show since it came out.
Yeah.
And of course, it's a not very well disguised depiction of the Murdoch family. So I have always had an interest in that, I guess.
It's difficult when they just keep accidentally being like, hey, Rupert, Logan Murdoch, Roy, rich one, the rich one, the old rich one.
Rich patriarch.
Can I have father? Sorry, I forgot. I can just call you father. That works way easier. That's how most of the takes went on the show.
Was it?
Yeah.
Is that why they're all so messy? Because by the time they get a good take, the camera operators are like, oh my God, I've been holding this camera for 6 hours. And it's just like going up and down bodies in weird ways and doing like crash zooms at unexpected moments and sometimes just tracking someone's hand instead of their face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe how crazy The Office has gotten.
I know. Crazy.
Anyways, yes, continue.
Yeah, no, so it was on my thing for a while, and then you were watching it and you had recommended it, and so I was like, great, this is a good excuse to try it. And I watched 3/4 of the first episode with my partner, and it was so intolerably, unbearably unpleasant for them to watch that we stopped. And so then I went back and finished that episode and then finished the season. Oops, I tripped and fell and finished the season. So, yes, I think it's good, but I'm also have had discussions with people who didn't enjoy the show, and so then I'm watching with like two parallel tracks in my mind. However, in the same way in House of Cards, I'm like thoroughly, completely addicted to the intrigue of it.
Yeah.
And so the criticisms, I'm like, I can hold those and witness those, but also I'm kind of hooked on this thing. Can I talk about a few of the things I like?
Absolutely. I also think it's season 1 of Succession. There are plenty of seasons. Feel free to spoil.
Spoil season 1.
I think you can spoil
Straight
season
in?
1.
Okay. You heard
Because
it
I
here,
think it's
folks.
also kind of just like the base premise of the show.
Yeah.
You know?
I should actually probably describe the base premise of the show just briefly.
Okay, describe
for
the base
listeners.
premise of the show and then
much
we'll do
like
spoilers.
the Murdoch family, there's one aging patriarch who's running the company, and there are 4 kids who are kind of squabbling for control of the company. Some of them are doing that very explicitly. Some of them are doing that in a much more subtle way. Some of them, Connor, are pretending to be totally oblivious to it, but will certainly jump in when it seems like the share price is going to drop, which threatens what they are going to inherit. And it basically just chronicles the intrigue and bits of their life that are relevant. So it's an average episode might be like a board meeting and a high society party and then a few conversations in a corridor. I enjoy how rarely we actually see all of the characters together at once. Like those feel like significant moments of like high intensity because they're busy and also they hate each other. And I guess
also
maybe...
it's like, it's often when they come together, it's a crisis moment. It is our company is in a PR spiral right now. We need to have a great presentation to the outside world.
Yes.
Let's get the whole family together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, I'm actually, to be honest, even after 10 episodes, still getting a handle on exactly what philosophically what the position of the show is. But I think it's telling 2 stories. One is like the ups and downs of the company and who's like winning the game.
Yeah.
And then the other one is like a slow, careful unraveling of like the deep trauma that this wealth and the way Logan runs his life has had on him and his family. But that's like, it's told in between the lines and subtly and in the opening, like the title credits, and
Which are too long, by the way.
too
I
long.
skip
Yeah,
them.
yeah. So that story is like subtextual,
Yeah.
but then the story that is in the text explicitly is like, I'm gonna fuck you up so bad with stock share money buy down up, you know. So
Yeah.
that's good stuff. And then even it's like, oh well, I'm meant to not like these rich characters, but I may be meant to root for them a little bit in the like cut and thrust of the corporate.
Because they're pitted against each other, and I mean the show is named after the main the main premise. It is about who is going to succeed Logan Roy, the patriarch. You have your favorites, and they switch up. You know, they change, they switch and
They
change.
really
Like,
do.
well, actually, maybe this person would be better for this awful company. And you do also. I mean, I did put my own political perspective on it because it is an inherently political company. I feel like most companies have some sort of political aspect to them. You can't escape it. Everything's political. But this one is basically the Murdoch News Corp, which is Fox News, which is The Australian, which is 20th Century Fox before it was sold to Disney. It is also, it brings stuff from Disney because this is a fictionalized company. They have a parks department. And so that's basically Disneyland. And so I'm bringing it. I'm coming into the show like, okay, which of these characters would I like to run this company for it to be a better world?
Yes, and
Because also that's what's currently happening in real life with the succession of who's gonna run the Murdoch stuff after he kicks the bucket. And that'll dramatically change the political climate internationally.
Yeah, big time. And the problem then is that I identify like maybe my political champion among the four kids, and then they're also a horrible person. So if I'm like, oh, well, Shiv is fairly progressive, so I'd like her to win. Oh, she's not a very good partner to her fiance. Or like, oh, well, Connor seems like removed and level-headed and runs the charity stuff. I would like him to win. And then you're like, oh my God, he's unbelievably sexist and like just decided in the final episode because he had one argument with a politician. He's like, I'm running for president. And you're like, you all
You're
suck.
an idiot. You don't know anything.
Not only that, but there's no perspective character. Like, I've realized how often...
there is one perspective character.
You're going to talk about Greg.
I'm going to talk about Greg, which is the cousin. So Logan Roy's brother, I wouldn't say estranged exactly. He's on the board of directors for the company, and he hates I can't remember what the name of it, but the Fox News equivalent.
ATN.
He basically hates the company. And he hates all the right-wing stuff that they're pushing, and he thinks it's just horrible capitalism. He's a socialist. He's like 100% a socialist. I don't know if he'd be a communist. I don't think he goes that far. But he also has a lot of money. But he has a grandson who we're introduced to in like the first episode, I believe, named Greg. And one thing leads to another, and Greg ends up working at
Waystar
Royco, because clearly they've had some sort of merger at some point. So Waystar Royco, he's working there, and he isn't used to having a whole lot of money around. Like, he's clearly grown up fine, but he's like, man, these people are doing big bucks, spending money like it's nothing. He's also not from the corporate world, so he doesn't know all this antagonistic sort of speech that they're throwing about. Or even anything about any of the business. Like, he's chucked in parks, right? At the start? Yeah. And he has no clue how to run. Most of the people at the upper end don't know how to run
Zero
anything.
skills. And Roman has, like, negative skills.
Yeah. At the start, he definitely actively makes things worse.
He causes that satellite to blow up.
Yes. Yes, he does. He's in charge of a satellite launch. And he just absolutely mishandles
And he's
it.
like, I told everyone to go faster because I wanted Shiv's wedding to be celebrated by this rocket launch, and also so my dad likes me more. And it blew up, and I'm gonna like initially just pretend that I didn't know about it blowing up as a defense mechanism, and then like run crying to Jerry, who is the actually only person on the board who's capable and runs the whole fucking company for the family, and just be like, please make me okay. And she's like, you're lucky no one died. I'll protect you because that's my job, but you're an idiot.
And he's like, oh, yeah, no one died. That's also good to know.
Yeah. People lost some fingers. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like, oh, people lose fingers all the time. That'll be fine.
Here's another thing I like about this show. It doesn't waste time. I've seen so many like political thrillers where we're like treading water until the end of the season. But this one is like, boom, we're straight in. First episode, Logan is critically ill in a coma. Episode 6, Kendall is like already trying a hostile takeover of the company. Episode 10, boom, he's trying it again.
Yeah.
And that episode 6 was probably maybe a highlight for me because it did that thing where it encapsulates everything about the show in like an hour. And what I liked is that in that episode, there's a big important board meeting happening. Logan's eldest son, Kendall, is trying to kick his dad out and run the company. And he's called around to all the different shareholders and like people who have got a seat on the board. He's run the numbers. You got to keep it super secret, but you got to act kind of fast so it doesn't leak, and you got to not tell the media, and you got to not tell your dad. And he thinks he's got the numbers, and the board meeting is happening, and he's stuck in a tunnel in traffic.
Yeah.
And this to me is the greatest thing about this show, because no matter how much money they have, and no matter how many moves they're making, and no matter how much they can just call the president and instantly get an answer, they still get stuck in traffic and have an argument with their spouse and don't know how to look after their kids well. It's the like everyday stuff that happens that's great. And so I love this extended like 20-minute sequence of Logan just being Kendall being stuck in the car and running through the tunnel and being like, I'm going to be there. There's, however many billions of dollars resting on him getting into this building, but he doesn't get there. And so Rome caves to Logan and gives up. That's one of the other brothers. And then Jerry's like, well, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole because Logan's right there. So it's just, I love the grounded human struggles that they can't escape even with all of their money.
Which is amazing to think about is, I like to consider myself a regular person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm not by any means like ultra wealthy.
Yeah.
I don't have the same lifestyles as any of these.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, most people, 99% of the population doesn't. But I have everyday struggles. I see these things and I'm like, and when I see it in the show, I'm like, well, it's good to know that this still exists for them.
Yes.
And also, I can cut myself a little bit of slack.
Yes.
I don't need to fix all my problems because fixing all my, getting money, getting on that grind set mindset isn't going to fix the fact that my spouse hates me.
Yeah. There is a kind of...
I'm not married to anyone, by the way. My marital issues are clean.
Yeah.
Like my credit score before I came to Australia. I've never had a credit card, so I'm fine.
There is a kind of savage joy in watching them have like awkward or resentful or kind of, just completely dysfunctional human relations. Because most of us have at least a few friendships that we feel are going well, or, we like our parents and feel like we can talk to them, whatever. It's different for each person. But there's a kind of delightful, like voyeuristic, vicarious glee in being like, oh, look at them. Look at these. Yeah. And you're a little bit sorry for them because they're like deeply traumatized. Their dad did not care for them well. Their mum is divorced and lives over in Britain. But I don't know. It's this I'm always feeling two things when I'm watching this show. Yeah. Whether it's like joy and disgust at their machinations or like sorrow and like schadenfreude for their relationships, whatever it is, there's always two feelings.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I absolutely feel that too, and I do get a bit of that kind of like take that feeling,
Yeah, totally.
In terms of like, especially with the interpersonal relationships. I'm like, how do you not know how to? Well, I know why you don't know how to handle this because you've been surrounded by people that say yes to you your whole life, and all of your like anything that happens, you can either fix it. Any problems in your life, you can either fix them with money or by avoiding them.
Yeah.
And so when you have serious things that you actually care about, you don't know how to work in those situations. So it is like, oh, you're a child. Like you haven't seen the world. You don't know how to communicate to people in a empathetic way, or like the only way you communicate with people is transactionally. And it's also very interesting to see the kids versus Logan Roy. Yeah. Because clearly he is the mastermind in terms of he has a lot of knowledge and skill that is in doubt sometimes. You're like, how much is this guy just putting it all on?
Yeah, totally.
Like, does he know everything? But I can't remember exactly, but I don't believe he fully came. No, actually I do know. He didn't come from money like his kids are. So he is also a bit like, you guys are idiots.
Yes.
You guys are absolute buffoons.
Yes. But he also wields that power over them. Like he will give them the money and the inheritance and the lifestyle, but he's deliberately withholding information so that he retains power over them. He's like, you idiots, I deliberately didn't teach you that so that I can control you. But he won't say the last bit.
Do you have a favorite out of the kids for the end, for season 1?
Not
this
really.
Be interesting as you go through.
Not really. I mean, I guess like Shiv, because she's going to make things slightly less horrible, and also because she is kind of similar to like Prudence Murdoch in real life, but they all suck. She was a she was in the the world of politics and the left-leaning politics. She was kind of, it's in the first season, right, where she's running the political campaign for the Bernie Sanders. Yes, 100%. That's
right.
Yeah, but they're all horrible. I don't even like Greg, and I feel bad saying that.
Yeah. No, that's fine, because even the one that you're meant to like is...
Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know who I root for every time they are on screen and can do no wrong in my mind, even when they objectively do wrong?
Who?
It's Jerry. The
Interesting.
senior counsel or whatever. I just think, I don't know, I don't know, I often am drawn to a character similar to this. There's one in House of Cards who stays around for a while. I've forgotten her name, but she's like similar age, similar haircut, similar like background. And in that show, she's like, what do they call the foreign minister in America? She's Secretary of State for quite a part of that show. And I think that something in me is drawn to like... highly capable, middle-aged woman, lots of experience, a bit underestimated. Yeah, I'm always attracted to that characterization. So yeah, for some reason, whenever Jerry's on screen, I'm like, yeah, you actually know what you're doing. And even though you're doing bad, like, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. I like Jerry. I don't know, I'm split with Jerry. I do like her, but in terms of like being like if she was the person to run the company or whatever, I'm like, do you have what it takes? Like, you're not very, she still bends to the whim of Logan Roy. Yeah. When she doesn't have, I mean, she kind of just still does whatever he says, even if there's like a coup that might be beneficial to her. She
well, yeah, but
part
like,
still falls in line.
When he fired half of the board, she managed to stay on the board because she read the room and made the right choice, and the right choice was Logan, and eventually it won't be the right choice. But she's also she'll play all sides. Like at one point, Logan's going to give a speech at a charity event, and Kendall wants him to just basically not give a speech and not say anything that at that point is really unhealthy, and he doesn't want to reveal anything. And Logan wants to give a speech and say like, I'm back. It's his big I'm back in charge speech. And Jerry chats to both of them and tells both of them what they want to hear and pretends to have told the other one, but just gets away without telling. I don't know.
No,
it's
she
like
does
not a
very
good
well.
person. I wouldn't want her to run a real company in real life. But in the show, I'm like, I don't know. Capable, experienced, has earned the right to be there.
I think for me, I just want a good ending. Like, it is, because it is so close to real life, I am very much like, I want a person with good morals.
But there is no good ending, right?
We don't know. Who knows?
I know we haven't got to the end, but
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's
yeah.
funny with Jerry because like there are multiple points in this show. I can't remember if there's one in season 1, but I'm just gonna. It's not a massive spoiler, but there are times in this show where they need to, like when Logan is hospitalized. They're like, okay, who is the acting head of this company? Who is acting CEO? And so they have to appoint someone. And it feels like often when that happens, they're like, okay, we just need to appoint someone either for the media or for just like for right now, whatever. And we're like, well, they'll run through and then eventually they'll be like, the logical choice is Jerry. Let's go with Jerry. Obviously, it's, this is just for the media. Obviously, we're not going to give it to Jerry. They're always like, obviously, it's not you, Jerry. You're never going to have this role. Fuck you. But we'll give it, you make the most sense. But obviously it's not going to be you.
You're the compromise candidate. Yeah.
Obviously it's not going to be me.
Yeah. Because I have the wrong surname.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
anyway, we could get stuck in the weeds of the plot all day, but I hope I've like given a vibe of how I feel when I'm watching the show.
I think you have. Yeah. A murky vibe.
Yeah, I remember when.
Who would you?
Because season 4 was the last season, and when that was ending, everyone in the real media was talking about it.
Yeah, perfect season, perfect amount of seasons.
Perfect number of seasons.
Who would you recommend this to? Because you're a big political.
I am, yeah.
Political
Even then, like
fan.
it's the people that I'm recommending this, like there's great political shows like Total Control or even like the doco Nemesis. This is for a different subset of people because you have
political drama.
Yeah, but it's not about belief. It's just about like victory. I think probably having still not watched it, Game of Thrones fans, House of Cards fans, if you liked the moral greyness of Frank Underwood and Claire Underwood and you're like, what if everyone was as evil as them? I'm trying to think of like a film. If you liked the recent film Conclave, which was like a political thriller set in the Vatican, and there was lots of like someone would be up on top and then one fact would come out and they would be like crying in their room praying to God for forgiveness. Maybe if you liked Conclave, give Succession a go. Yeah. That's my obscure link for you.
All right. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. Excellent. That's all. That's your dose of awful stuff that's happening in the world, filtered through a camera lens so that it's palatable.
Yeah, great. Now open up ABC News.
It's totally unfiltered.